Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Tutelage, a guide to learner. Here this is Sriparna. I hope all of you are doing good. Today we are going to discuss one of the most interesting topic according to the UGC Net syllabus, that is inclusive education. And we all know that inclusive education is one of the most important topic nowadays. Before going to the main discussion, at first I have to say, if you like my videos, so please do one comment, like and share, and please do some support and subscribe my channel for getting more useful session. Okay, so let's start the session. So learner, do you know what do you mean by a inclusive education? So inclusive education is defined as a learning environment that promotes the full personal, academic and professional development of all learners irrespective of race, class, color, gender, disability, sexual preference, learning styles and language. And I think the picture shows everything. Okay, so basically inclusive education is about how we develop and design our schools, classrooms, programs, activities so that all students learn and participate together in a one single classroom. So it is combined work to be implemented by schools, parents and the children. I think this is clear. So inclusion means the process of educating children with special education needs alongside their peers in mainstream schools. I think the inclusive education, what is the meaning of inclusive education, is clear to everyone. I've already told what is inclusive education. So inclusive education is defined as a learning environment that promotes the full personal, academic and professional development of all learners irrespective of race, class, color, gender, disability, sexual preference, learning styles, language, etc. So I think this is clear. Now going to the important principles of inclusive education, and here we can see the first one, that is principle of equal opportunities. So equal educational opportunity is one of the most important principle of inclusive education. Now going to the second one, principle of uniqueness. Obviously each and every students have different unique characteristics, so that's why so each child has different capability to understand the meaning of the concept. So principle of uniqueness is one of the most important thing. Now going to the third one, that is principle of dignity. So dignity is important in every children. So that's why dignity is also important. So there is no discrimination with students, and which is called as inclusive education. So principle of equal opportunities, uniqueness, dignity, all are important as a principle of inclusive education. Now going to the next one, that is principle of acceptance. We have already told there is no discrimination between students. So that's why the principle of acceptance is one of the most important thing. Now going to the next one, that is principle of collaboration. We can see there are different types of principles of inclusive education, but meaning are more or less same. Okay, so a principle of collaboration is obviously related with the principle of active acceptance, sorry, and we have already told it is defined as a learning environment irrespective of different type of class, color, gender, disability. So obviously principle of collaboration is one of the most important important thing also. Now going to the next one, that is principle of relevance. Relevance is also another important principle. And now going to the next one, that is principle of empowerment. So obviously we have already told inclusion. So inclusion means process of educating children with a special education needs alongside their peers in mainstream schools. So empowerment, so we should focus the empowerment of children. So obviously principle of empowerment is important thing. And now going to the last one, that is social balance. So we have already told what is the basic meaning of inclusive education. So obviously, development of social consciousness, development of brotherhood, all things are related to the social balance. So that's why principle of social balance is important of the inclusive education also. And another principles are, that is, it helps to prepare new challenges, it helps to improving quality of educations. And we have already told individual differences between students, and it is one of the important source of richness and diversity, and it is not a problem as such. So I think the principles of inclusive education is clear. So now going to the next concept, that is aims and objectives. So education for all, it is one of the most important objective of inclusive education. We have already told there is no discrimination between students, and equal opportunity, we they have equal opportunity. So that's why education for all is one of the most important thing. Now going to the next one, that is protection of rights, identification of skills, development of brotherhood, social consciousness, preparing new challenges, and improving quality of education, all are the important aims and objectives of inclusive education. And basically aims and objectives of inclusive education is basically related to the important principles of inclusive education. I think this is clear. Now going to the next one, and that is needs and importance of the inclusive education. How is the inclusive education needed in the educational sector or educational institution? So here we can see some importance and need of inclusive education. So the first one, that is development of skills. Obviously, development of skills, development of confidence, development of society, all are the basic important and need of the inclusive education, because we have already told the basic meaning of inclusive education. And inclusive education has potentiality to meet the diverse educational needs of all children. So sometimes children with HIV and other chronic illness, girls living in difficult circumstances, children with disabilities, children of migrant labor, street children, children in remote tribal areas. So all are the same. So that's why and principles of empowerment is one of the most important principles of inclusive education. So that's why development of skills, development of confidence, development of society is all are the very important thing, because it is about how we develop, design our classroom, schools, so that all students learn and participate together. So that's why all are important. Now going to the next one, that is it helps to achieve the aim of education. And we have already told what is the basic aim of education. So basically it helps to protect our rights, it helps to identify our skills, and inclusive education is helps to preparing new challenges, it helps to improve quality of education. So that's why education is important. Without education, society is not going forward. Okay, so that's why education is important, and inclusive education helps to achieve the aim of education. Now going to the next one, that is it helps to achieve social equality. We have already told inclusive education means education for all. There are no discrimination between students. They have equal educational opportunities of all students. So that's why social equality is important. Okay, so next one is universalization of education, development of self concept, development of nation. So obviously development of society, we have already told it is basically related to the nation. Okay, so basically society is a micro concept and nation is a broader concept, that is the macro concept. Okay, and universalization of education. So universalization of education means education for all. Okay, So that's why I think this is clear to everyone why universalization of education is one of the most important reason for inclusive education in educational sector, obviously. And now going to the last concept, that is development of self concept, because we have already told in the principal section development of social balance. So basically development of the social consciousness, development of the brotherhood, all are basically related with the development of the social balance. I think this is clear. So basically principles, need, importance of inclusive education, all are very similar, all are very close to each other. So inclusive education leads to an overall change in the philosophy and a reorientation towards rights perspective, with realization that there was a need to move from segregation to inclusion. So it focuses on inclusiveness. Okay, so it aimed at changing the educational system, including teaching methods, curriculum system. It helps to include the diverse needs of each child. So inclusion is a process basically, and it is concerned with identification and removal of barriers. It invokes a particular emphasis on those group of learners who may be at risk of marginalization, exclusion, or underachievement. So it is about the presence, participation, and achievement of all students. I think the meaning of inclusive education is clear. So learner, we are done for the today's session. If you like my videos, so please do one like, share and comment, and please do some support and subscribe my channel for getting more useful session. I will come again with a new topic, new session. Till then, stay tuned, stay connected with me. Happy learning. Thank you.